we prepare to introduce tonight's starting lineups. Please welcome tonight's officials, Adonis Alvar, Enrique Denton, and Wilmer Soriano. Now, let's meet tonight's starters. First, we're visiting South Carolina United. Number 1, Cooper Jennings. Number 3, Oscar Beck. Number 6, Ronnie Wakeland. Number 10, Oscar Kelly. Number 11, Isaiah Clemeny. Number 14, Isaiah Whitaker Francis. Number 15, Callum Stokes. Number 17, Lucas Lindstrom. Number 18, Junior St. Just. Number 21, Kemp Wilson. And number 25, Abdul Kamara. South Carolina is coached by Peyton Miller, Jed Smith, and Robbie Jenkinson. And now, for your Port City FC, in goal, number 0, Kevin Christensen. Number 3, Will Fatzinger. Number 4, Josh Sayer. Number 6, Ryan Lee. Number 7, Alex Walker. Number 8, Jack Steele. Number 10, Thomas Mancuso. Number 11, Caleb Howe. Number 15, Grant Stewart. Number 17, Gabe Finley. And number 26, Jonathan Momboku. Number 15 is coached by Austin Marks. He is assisted by Dan Meyer. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if able, remove your hats, and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America and those who protect our freedoms with the playing of our national anthem.
Hello all and welcome here to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a different location, but it's the same Port City FC. We're at historic Legion Stadium instead of UNCW Soccer Stadium here tonight as Port City FC's men's team once again play a USL2 match against, this time, South Carolina United. The Bantams here. My name is Zachary Buttright. Thanks for tuning in here on Sports Engine Live for this USL2 match tonight. And a little bit of change of scenery like we mentioned, and the players will have to kind of deal with that as well. Turf field here in Wilmington instead of the grass field we see at UNCW Soccer Stadium. So we'll see how that impacts kind of the game flow for Port City FC. South Carolina United, the Bantams, used to playing on turf, as that's where their home is, at the Southeastern Freight Line Soccer Complex. Last time these two teams met was in South Carolina when the Bantams won 3-0 over Port City. The Bantams playing at UNCW Soccer Stadium against Port City in the Women's League, USL2 League, so far this year. In goal tonight for the visitors of South Carolina United is Cooper Jennings, and for Port City FC, Kevin Christensen. First time we'll see Christensen in the green jersey this year. And then the back four for Port City is Powell, right back. He plays forward sometimes, but he'll probably be a wing back player. Fatzinger, Stewart dropping in, and Buku, and Sayer as well. In the midfield is Finley. Steele, Walker. Out wide is Mancuso. Lee, the center forward. And Finley also in there for Port City. Port City, get us going left to right on your screen in the light blue, Carolina blue jerseys. Christensen hits it out of bounds. Christensen, a fantastic game against Hickory FC last Wednesday, as it was a goal in the 3rd minute by Ryan Lee before Port City gave a goal in the 87th off of a penalty, handball by Manisi. And then in the 90th plus 6 minute, it was a game winner for Hickory FC. Nothing Christensen could do there in both of those instances. But he had a good game out of the back with the ball at his feet. And we saw him play earlier against North Carolina FC U23s, a game that he'll like to forget in terms of wasn't the best games in terms of the ball at his feet. All right, so he's moved on from that, as like we said, we saw that good performance the last time out. Higher vantage point here for us in the broadcast booth, and it's a bigger field as well. Obviously you see a lot of the football lines, the soccer lines that we're playing are the yellow ones, but as we mentioned, it is a bigger field than at UNCW, where we normally play the games for Port City FC. South Carolina United, of course, going right to left in the all red jerseys. This stadium was the home for the Wilmington Hammerheads, the USL team, before it became championship in League 1 and 2. It was just the USL, and that's where the Wilmington Hammerheads played, here at historic Legion Stadium, before they found almost a new home / folded in 2015. Powell heads it over to Mancuso. For the Bantams, Isaiah Crumedy, Isaiah Whitaker Francis, as Lee here in on goal. It is offsides though from the nearsighted assistant referee. Oscar Beck also on the defensive unit for the Bantams. Abdul Kamara, Oscar Kelly, Lucas Lindstrup, Ronnie Woodlin, Callum Stokes, Kemp Wilson, Junior St. Just are the players on the pitch for South Carolina United here to start the evening. Once again, 5 substitutions allowed here in the USL2. There's Sayer. He puts it back into the mix. And Stewart hit turf. Christensen not happy with the little extra finish. by Crumity. Great flicked on header though by Wilson. And Buku gets us restarted over to Sayer. Sayer, big diagonal ball. More space to do that here at this pitch. Played here a couple times myself during high school. That's where New Hanover High School plays as well. Finley now driving and won't get a corner, but a deep throw in for Port City FC here. Is going down and coming up limping is number 15, Callum Stokes. So he'll go down again. Tough sight to see. He was holding his left hamstring there. And it might be the end of the evening for Stokes there. Looked like he was calling for a substitution. And a quick change there. You see the warm-up shirt come off for the new player, and obviously visually you can see the frustration and pain there for Stokes. Nothing you want to see as a former player. So we obviously hope nothing too serious there. New player on there, you see him running by for the Bantams. Number 19, it will be Jevin Green. And there's Green with a head of steam, just driving, keeps going by Mbuku. Stewart there shields it away though. Stewart with the blade to stop that attack. Port City FC, the captain today, Jack Steele, was not there in their game against Hickory FC. Who knows what the outcome of that game would have been if he was, as it was a tight game anyway. And that was a great defensive showing for Port City FC in that game as well. But they had they carried that momentum, you could say, into their next game on Saturday, where they played North Carolina FC U23s again, and they tied that one 1-1. So Port City FC putting a couple good games back together, or back-to-back, you could say, as they came back and tied it up late in that game. There's Green now driving. He plays it inside for the Bantams. Oh, it's deflected and in! It's a goal! South Carolina United in the 7th minute with a odd little bouncy goal there, you could call it, as it just kind of bounced around. I think it will go down as an own goal, as definitely deflected in there by Sayer. Looked like it was originally going wide, and it just dinks off the post and in. So not the start there for Port City. And Green just stays with it, pushes it inside. Lots of space there for the strike. Not the greatest of strikes, but he'll take it as it ends up in the back of the net. So Wilson, your goal scorer. Green gets the assist. Fresh legs. Obviously not very fresh because just started the game, but the substitute made an impact early on. And not to start for Port City, but what can they respond with here? Mancuso over to Powell, who's kind of playing that wing-back role today. All the home games so far for Port City this year have been competitive. They've got the 1-2 game, of course, where they lost to Hickory. Then before that, it was 4-1 against Tobacco, but 2 late goals for Tobacco, as it was 1-1 at one point in that game. Then the 2-1 win against Wake FC and the 3-2 loss that we mentioned against North Carolina FC U23. So really tight games whenever Port City FC is played at home. We'll see if that trend continues here today. Ball just bouncing around the Bantams, in control right now all the way back to Jennings for the Bantams. Their most recent result, a 0-0 draw as well, to Charlotte Eagles. Charlotte Eagles started out hot to the year, and it's been a little bit chilly in the midsummer portion for them. Offsides there for the Bantams was Crumity. South Carolina United on the road so far. They've played Charlotte Eagles back-to-back, and they won that one 2-1 on last Wednesday. So 2-game point streak for them so far coming into today, and Port City FC, only for the second time this year, will carry a non-loss into a next match day. Other road results for the Bantams: 4-1 win over Wake FC, the 2-1 loss to Hickory FC, and Charlotte Independence 3-1 loss. So batting 500, you could say, now on the road for the Bantams. And they sit in 6th place right now in the USL League 2 South Atlantic Division. In a 11-team league, the Bantams have played 9 games, 14 points, 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws for them. 17 goals for, 16 against, so really evenly balanced there. Green gets a cross in, back post. There's your goal scorer, Wilson. Wilson with a little bit of space. Now the captain of Beck for the Bantams. Cross comes in. It's a brilliant touch there. Shot blocked away by Sayer. Crumity had the shot there, and it's going to be whistle blown and Bantams' ball. They call the handball there on Wilson. But as for Port City FC, they are second to last in the league right now. And 4 points. They were on 3 for much of the year so far. They've got 9 games played as well as the Bantams. 1 win, 7 losses, and 1 draw. 8 goals for, 22 against. Defensively, they've been decent, but it's just offensively haven't been able to get on the score sheet. So throw-in will be taken here by St. Just. A little conference there from the head referee. St. Just. As Finley tried to get it possession for Port City, but now it's going to be Whitaker. Whitaker shot by Green. Green, there was 3 Port City players around him, and somehow he had it for a split second before it was 1 back. Now Lee trying to hold possession there, unable to do so. And it'll be a Bantams throw-in. It's a great color matchup if you talk about jersey and kit battles. There we see Green with the shot, blocked once again by a Port City defender. Cross field switch does connect this time. Crumity, cross comes in. Christensen not worried too much about that one. Mbuku from his center back position. To Christensen, over to Sayer. Pressed by Wilson. Lone goal scorer of this game so far. Sayer was looking for Powell, maybe. I'm not sure. It was a pretty aggressive pass for a player that was 10 yards from him. Outside of the boot there. But couldn't connect as the head of Fatzinger got on the end of it. Good challenge backwards from Whitaker. Whitaker with the back press there to knock it out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for the Bantams here. And Stewart wins it off the throw-in. Lee looked like he was offsides. He was. Camara was calling for that immediately almost. Jennings, no work so far for him. No shots other than the goal we saw, which technically goes down as a shot. Possession here from Camara. Pass from Lindstrup got blocked by Walker. Austin Martz, the coach for Port City FC, first year in charge. Some growing pains, of course, in the USL2, a league step above where they were last year in the NPSL. Christensen trying to find a teammate. Ended up finding some Red Sox there, but they got one back off the big touch from the Bantams player. Steele now trying to press after he gave it away, winning it back almost immediately, trying to at least. The captain of Beck ends up doing a little around the world to get it back towards St. Just. Goes in towards Kelly, center forward for the Bantams. Sayer to Mbuku. Walker now back to Mbuku. Port City with a little bit more sustained pressure in possession as of late. And trying to respond here as 9 minutes since the opening goal of the game by Wilson. Sayer trying to find an open light blue jersey. Can't find one there. 3 Bantams were there as quickly as the ball came. Now it's Jennings who plays it long, and Buku's the only player in the vicinity. No chase from Kelly there. Doesn't have to as well. I'd like to take a second to thank everyone who's listening in right now on Sports Engine Live. Thank you for taking the time to view the game, and if you're viewing it after the fact, thank you for listening in as well. A steal there gets on a handstand, courtesy of Green. Some acrobatics here, as this isn't gym class, this is the football pitch. So it's just going to be a throw-in. Lee trying to chase it down to Jennings. Jennings plays it long. Buku will be the first one to win it there. Finley going inside to Lee. May have been offsides once more. Lee somehow gets it off his chest, but there's the Bantams. This one is a little bit too aggressive, and Kamara takes contact. Some complaints there by St. Just that it was offsides and the play shouldn't have continued. Now talking to the center referee. But what a great night it is for some football action, some soccer here in Wilmington, as it's been a weird day. We saw some really heavy showers just about an hour before kickoff at 5:30-ish. They were heavy. It was coming down sideways As here's Green in on goal. We'll come back to the thought. Green was offsides. He let it go. But he was making an attempt on the ball, so whistle blows. But yeah, heavy showers are coming in. And it was one of those where we're glad we're playing on turf today. UNCW Soccer Stadium is super well maintained, but it's a grass field, so who knows how it took to the rain. We'll see that tomorrow here on Sports Engine Live for Port City FC's women's team in the USLW as they play at UNCW Soccer Stadium. And for the women, it's their last home game of the year as well. The women with a little bit of run of form coming into that game as well, in which they'll look to extend their winning streak. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on and tomorrow, of course. Right now, Jack Steele inside the Bentham's 18-yard box. Cross comes in. Lee tried to get a header to it. Or try to get ahead to it, you might say. And now falls to Powell with his left foot, and first save of the game from either keeper. And a good save by Jennings there. Was able to scoop that one up. The timer for the referee as it is Bentham's player that goes down. It is Green once again. So Green, who came on, who takes the kid off, I think that's the sign that it's the end of the day for him. But an interesting one. Green got an assist after coming on in about the 4th or 5th minute for Callum Stokes, who went off injured. So now two Bentham's players looks like going off the field with problems, and that is something that you never want to see. And it's one of those things where you look at the field conditions. It's a great field, but it's also AstroTurf. We've been playing on grass, and you see all the World Cup games, of course, if you've been watching on real grass. Even the NFL stadiums that had turf were forced to put in real grass for the World Cup, and it's been great. The facilities have looked great, and the game flow has been great. Nothing has been going on with the turf in terms of problems of it ripping up. So I'm not sure that that had anything to do with it, but we'll see. And it looks like it'll be the end of the night for Green. Interested to see if a new player will come on. He took the kid off. Yeah, he's got some tape there by the rib cage, and he was pointing to that, so who knows what that is about. He's off the side of the pitch. Actually, no, he's not. He's still on the pitch, technically. The referee's got to get this one figured. The fourth official will help him out there. As you see the yellow line being out of bounds, so that's an interesting one. There's going to be a new player. It's going to be number 13 of Grayson Barber. So now he's actually off the pitch is Green. Not very often you see a player come on in the first 5 minutes and then exit after 22. And both teams during that break also got some liquids into their system. Some good old dos hydrogen, uno oxygen. And you know, we don't have any hydration breaks, I don't think, here in the USL2, not like the World Cup does. And we surely don't show any commercials if we do. But nonetheless, back to action here as Jennings picks it up. And we can play resume. So I think entering is Barber is on now for the Bantams. So Port City throw in here. So already a couple subs used by the Bentams. How will that impact them later on, as it is a hot day here in Wilmington as well. And it is humid. Once the rain went away, we found that Wilmington coastal humidity that we all love here, growing up here. Obviously, a little sarcasm there. But the players definitely sweating through the kits already. You can see it, a little darker shade of that coastal blue. Ball played in by Steele. And Mbuku back post. Sayer there as well. Mbuku puts it back into the mixer. Cleared away by the Bentams. And going back to the USLW, we'll see tomorrow, Port City FC coming into that game, winning their last 3 games. Their last loss was the home game against South Carolina United Bantams. And that was a 2-1 game. It was a 5-3 win over South Carolina United on the road, and then a 4-1 win over Wake FC and a 2-1 win over Carolina Ascent. The game tomorrow against NC Fusion. They sit 3rd in the table right now. 9 points off the Charlotte Eagles and the NC Courage. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. As of right now, Port City FC's men's team trying to get the equalizer. Ryan Lee here trying to get it on goal. Chasing him down is Kamara. Lee still there, and a kick save by Jennings. And first real chance of the game for Port City. The first shot was more of a dribbler, but this one caused real problems. But great job by Kamara to push Lee wide. As Steele now will take the corner kick, the outswinger. Saw a couple drops there on the screen. That was from the awning right outside the press box here. Steele plays it in. It's headed away by the Bentams. And they were shouting was the Bentams as Wilson hit the ground. As Mbuku looks like he gave Wilson a little bit of a help down there. Now they have a little bit of a confrontation. Those two have been going at it so far today on both ends, defensively and offensively. Referees kept a lid on the game so far. A lot of conferences with a couple of players, had to deal with a couple of injuries as well. See how that continues throughout the night. Mbuku there stepped on Wilson, and Stewart ended up with possession for Port City. It's out wide there for Fatzinger. Now it's actually with Fatzinger. That was Walker over there. Powell now as Port City have cycled around the pitch. And Kuso. And Powell just booms it to the middle where Stewart with a big touch. Out jumped by Wakeland. Finley there got hauled down, and it's going to be the first card of the game to Wilson. Got a long run up there, and oh yeah, you see it just clips the back of the left heel. I think well deserving of that yellow there. But first use of the pocket for the referee tonight, and it's one of those where you hope that it doesn't become a trend for the referee if he throws one card early. Will that continue throughout the night? We'll see. Only time will tell there. Steele pressures as Beck plays it long, but it's only to Stewart. Kelly wasn't up in his center forward position yet. Beck, though, dunks it back in. Kelly was there for the second ball as Crumity just kind of held up. Crumity looking behind Sayer. He's got a run here. Oh, just couldn't get to it. Good Kelly in time as Stewart got there first. And a great interception by Stewart defensively. Lee knocked a Bantam off the ball there of St. Just. Finley with a little crafty footwork Gets the ball crossed in. It's over to Lee. He cuts back. Shot blocked away. Still with Finley somehow. Wasn't offsides because the defender for the Bentams was there as well. There's Lee inside now. Lee just trying to turn on the defenders. He crosses it across the 6. And it's a goal for Port City FC as they find the leveler out of nothing. A little bit of creativity from the host. And a great work by Finley, Lee, and the goal scorer there of, it looks like, Walker. As there, Lee just drives and finds a perfect cross around the 6, and it's actually Mancuso. So Mancuso there gives a little bit of love to Lee, helping him get the cross in. Easy finish for Mancuso. And in the 29th minute, Port City FC, off of Lee's right foot. And Mancuso's easy tap in is now 1-1 here in Wilmington. So Mancuso, not many starts on the year, but making use out of it so far. The Bentams did not play the ball when it was whistled.
Your Port City goal, scored by number 10, Thomas Mancuso.
So Beck now playing it over to Wakeland. Wakeland only finds Finley in the midfield, and now Port City have numbers going forward. Lee dunks it over to Finley. He has to haul up on the run, though, as inside position for St. Just. What a great game we have on our hands already. A couple of goals for both the teams. And if you look at the standings for the Bentams, they are a game in hand to NCFC U23s. Could gain a position there. And they are down a game. They played an extra game over Asheville City Soccer Club. So that they're technically higher in the standings on points per game because they have 13. So they could easily be 4th by the end of it. And trying to get 3 points tonight, or a point at all, would matter. 11 games played for the Charlotte Eagles. That's 2 more than the Bentams, and they've got 15 points. So it's a weird little portion of the schedule. For Port City FC, they can't advance position tonight, no matter the results. They can only get closer to 9th place if they get the 3 points. But any result would feel good for the Gulls at this point. Still, two home games, a game on Saturday coming up for Port City FC, and then July 1st as well here at Legion Stadium. That one on Saturday is at UNCW Soccer Stadium. So 2 more home games for Port City FC, and a couple more away games as well, as they finish up their first year in the USL League 2. Bentams putting some pressure on now. Port City with a lot of numbers there inside their 18, 5 to be exact, and 3 defensive center mids in there as well. And Buku there just a little outside of the boot clearance. 4 more total games, 2 home and 2 away for Port City. The last game of the season, or the last 2 actually, will be on the road at Wake FC and Tobacco Road. So Port City FC with chances against Wake FC and Tobacco Road, 2 teams that are above and below them in the standings, to get wins to end the year, and a couple wins maybe before that could really move them up the standings. If you're interested about playoffs, you need to be 1st or 2nd for that to happen. So for Port City, that's out of reach, but trying to have a better finish in your inaugural year would make a big difference nonetheless. Stewart there with a high boot and gets it away from Wilson. Wilson, all over the back of Finley. Or Stewart was just kind of shooting there. It honestly was more of a combination. It was a very symbiotic relationship between those two, as one needed the other to kind of make that foul, or non-foul, you could say, happen. Buku again with the outside of the boot. He's been loving that tonight. Gets his big frame in there once again. Mancuso, the goal scorer for Port City. Cross comes in, back post for the Bentams, and It was the substitute of Barber. We've already seen one substitute have an assist of Green. And Mbuku down now for Port City FC, and so is Wilson. Those two have been going after it. You see Mbuku there kind of get it in his back, and Wilson there, it looked like he kind of had a little bit of a stumble. Steele trying to talk to. As we take a look back at the replay, yeah, they kind of just get the ankle a little bit twisted when he tried to push off. Oh, excuse me, on the landing, not the push off. So the landing there. And we'll take a look at it again. So we'll watch the landing of Wilson there for the red jersey. Oh, you see the ankle there just with a little bit of outward motion, never good. And I think he may have had, I'm not sure if Mbuku's foot was there and he kind of stepped on it, and that's what made the ankle roll or not. He may have landed on the foot, not sure, but it doesn't matter. The outcome is what it is. And there's your ankle completely 90 degrees. So feel for Wilson and for the Bantams. That is not what you want to see, your goal scorer on the turf. And not only that, it's a potential third substitution in the first half in 35 minutes for an injury as well. And those replays as well, as always throughout the whole year, don't forget TSC TV, the official broadcast partner for Port City FC this year. Proud to have them along with us. And taking a look at the ankle there. A lot of work from the athletic trainer here tonight for the Bantams. Hopefully Wilson is able to continue. That would be big as well, not only for Wilson, the playmaker he is, but also not to use a third substitution if you're South Carolina. And for USL League 2, you can get 5 subs, but you can get 3 windows. But I'm not sure if the windows count for an injury. I'm not sure what the actual rules are for that on the USL League 2. So actually you get 7, so excuse me, 7 substitutions, which helps the Bantams here, but it says 3 moments in the game. You can sub at halftime. You do get 2 concussion substitutes. But I don't know if that really falls under the concussion thing for either of the 3 players. So this would technically be their 3rd window, I guess. As we take another look at it, Wilson taking his time off. Sayer, or Fatzinger, going to help him off as well. And Mbuku back up on his feet. And you feel for those players that have been subbed off tonight. As both teams went over to the benches trying to get some hydration, but they were a little late on the call there as the referee was ready for action. So the Bantams, as Mbuku has entered back into the match, right now the Bantams are playing with 10. So we'll see maybe if they try to play out these 8 minutes and save a window, because you'd only have this, that would be the last window if they make the sub. Now you do get 7 subs, they've made 2, so they have 5 left. You could use a halftime window to use the rest of some big chunk of subs if you wanted to and save the window. I think that's what the head coach here of the Bantams is trying to do, of Robbie Jenkinson. Peyton Miller and Jed Smith. Charles Tamala, I think, might be the head coach over there with the hat on. But they all tough decisions to be made, and a lot of players up for the Bentams. There's Lee inside. Plays it out wide. Beck is there. And Mancuso plays it back to Finley. Finley crosses it in. It's back post. And cleared away by the Bentams right now, but only half Flea. It's inside to Steele. Now Steele, shot save by Jennings. Steele with a good shot on frame there. And Port City FC, all their shots on frame so far. Great ball in by Walker. Just slipped it perfectly, weighted into Steele's left foot. Got down to his right, did Jennings. So it's going to be a free or a throw-in, it looks like, here for Port City. Ball played into the box. Lee there being hassled with Camara, and whistle blows for offside for Lee. And it'll be a free kick for the Bentams. There's been a lot of stoppages here in terms of when the free kicks have been whistled, and Jennings taking a lot of real estate there. He's almost a real estate agent right now. He's going to have to give some of that back. Is Jennings. He takes some more back with it. The mind games, it's like a yo-yo. But it's been a pretty choppy game when you really look at it. You've had the 3 injuries for the Bentams. Bentams still playing with 10 players. So they're going to look to keep that locked down until halftime, it looks like, for 5 minutes. And for Port City, they need to try and take advantage of that here in the last 5, plus stoppage time. And there will be some stoppage time, you would assume, here in the first half. Powell just booms this one into the stands. As Wilson making his way around the pitch over there on the far side. Throw-in will be here for the Bentams. St. Just. Buku there was out of the box, and it's a free kick. As the foot went up there from St. Just. A little rookie mistake. As, yeah, you see it, the right foot just never touched dirt there. Just lost contact with the earth, and good call from the referee. There is Fatzinger, plays it back to Mbuku. Mbuku gets his soul on the ball there, rolls it over, and now it's with Walker, who checked back towards a steal out wide from his central position he's been. But he's been out wide a lot today so far. Finley, they're trying, chasing, knocking down, and gets fouled. Oh, not happy there is Wakelin. He was saying that it was kind of just a mash of bodies. I mean, it was with Port City, so advantage was not, and it's going to be Port City free kick nonetheless. Mbuku will take this one, as Kelly was right on top of him. Kelly now chasing down on Walker. It's over to Stewart. But the Bentams led this game early, and then Port City found their way back into the game so far. Mancuso, big challenge in there from Cromedy, and it was clean as well. Mancuso, though, comes up limping as he's going over to the far corner. It looks like he's trying to walk this one off, but a big challenge in there, and he may take worse for the wear. Already 3 injuries for the Bentams that resulted in players not being able to return. And that is not what you want to see for any team. Mancuso will look to fight it out here until the end of the first half. I'm sure we'll see a little substitution there. A nice little flick inside to Steele. Steele was on sides. He still has possession somehow. The Magician with it, but lost it there as Powell wasn't able to keep possession. Finley gets fouled once again, and Kelly arms in protest, as Finley has been with his low center of gravity on the turf numerous times now. And here in the 44th minute now, take a look to see how much stoppage time there will be. This is a little bit far, maybe. Obviously, you see the markings on the field. It's about 35 yards away for Powell. Maybe a little bit out of range there. Steele, the free kick taker, usually, excuse me. Stumbled on the words there. So that was never really going to be a shot on goal from Steele, as Powell was just lumping that one in. But a lot of whistles early on in this first half, as Mancuso, you see him on this near side, still hobbling around a little bit. Free kick here by Jennings. Jennings plays it in, stays with the Bentams right now, and it will be, just roll out of bounds. And it'll be thrown for Port City, as Powell will throw this one in. We'll see what the added time is. Not sure. Maybe 4. 4 minutes is the added time for the first half. This has been a half that the Bentams controlled early on, but Port City got themselves back into it, and now playing this last 10 minutes here with only offsides. There's the call for Kelly, as he just flung that one to outer space. It went out for a throw nonetheless, but it was offsides. And he'll get a yellow for it as well. Oh, and it's a double yellow. How about that? The Bentams down to 10 in a shock fashion. He must have said something that was naughty to the referee. And this is big. They're down to 9 players. Of course, they haven't made the substitution yet for the injured, so they'll get that substitution back. But for at least 3 minutes in this first half, it's going to be Park the Bus Central. And another yellow. Oh, he pulled out the red again, did the referee. Oh, woof, that was almost dangerous. Another yellow, as a lot has happened here. Cromedy gets a yellow, and it was a double yellow there. You saw the referee give the yellow for the just shot that went astray. And that was the original yellow. Then he must have said something to the referee. And Kelly is done. So it will be 10 men for the rest of the match. But right now, it's 9. So if Port City can use anything in this last 3 minutes of stoppage time, it's full go right now. Pedal to the metal offensively if you're Port City. As you've got 2 players up. I don't think that the Bentams will make that substitution for the injury, as they don't want to waste that last window. So they're just going to have to fight it out. But you never know what the decision is. The head coach there, as you see him, trying to discuss with the referee about what happened there. So it's a double yellow. I think that's what will go down in the scorebook for Kelly. And then it's just a yellow for Cromedy. And Kelly's still on the edge of the pitch there on the left side. So now it's going to be 2 booked players for South Carolina United. The other one is Wilson. Obviously, Wilson could technically come back onto the pitch. And interesting development as one of the coaching staff goes over there to talk to Kelly. So here's 3 minutes left in this added time of the first half. Steele with Port City up 2 players right now. Steele with 3. Bentham's around him. A lot of space elsewhere, but it's all going to be in Port City's favor here to end the first half. Nothing going there. Lee trying to get the ball back to Jennings quickly. So Wilson was the first player booked for the Bentams. Obviously, he's out with the injury. You see him walking by the Port City bench. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen right now. Looking at Jennings. A battle there, won by Sayer. Goes all the way back, though. And shoot it out calmly. Bentham's just trying to get through this end of the first half. Good work there from Barber to hold it up. Barber still possession for the Bentams. Port City have 5 players around there, but it's still a through ball that is connected with Cromedy. Offsides, though, was Cromedy there. St. Just was the player that threw it in and had a chance that started it all there for the Bentams. Only a minute or so left here. Port City giving up a late game winner against Hickory last time out in the 90th minute. Maybe try to expel some ghosts from that memory. That's Finley here. Over to Powell. Powell on the end line. Dinks it across. Same kind of formation as the first goal, and that's blasted by Fatzinger. Not very often does he get a chance like that. And his eyes got wide, and the ball went sailing. And it's with a non-dominant foot as well, but you got to take the chances when you can. You do see the football posts back there. Of course, football being played on here, as you mentioned with the lines earlier. I think we are yet to see a field goal today. That one was probably the closest it's been. I'm not sure if it went through the goal post or not. Beck flicks this one back into the mix. And Buku just trying to get it up. Finley with possession now for Port City. The sun at a direct angle to the right of the Pelayers, and it's over now. Well, how much does that impact players? I think it would impact the goalkeepers more, equally for both of them, you could say. This one's dinked in, and Mancuso, who looks a little better for the wear after he took that challenge, he's kind of ran it off a little bit. Maybe it'll continue here in the second half. He's offsides there, and going back to the sun, it's Jennings left and Christensen's right. But the benches are being hit hard with that sun angle right now. Jennings plays that out of bounds just to kill some clock. Powell, long throw. Oh, a little bit of handball action. And that's another yellow. This time for St. Just. So now 2 players that are on the pitch for the Bentams that are on a yellow, and that was just unnecessary. So I think it's the left center back and the left back that are booked for the Bentams. As Port City FC just keeping themselves out of trouble right now. As for the Bentams, just the opposite. But right now we're still all squared and still looking for the blows of the whistle from the center referee, the signal that we've reached halftime. It's been a long first half. And a tumble there for Lindstrup. They got a little help from Port City FC. As we are an hour from the scheduled kickoff time. I think we started about 5 minutes late, but it's been a long first half as we're at least 10 minutes into added time. Obviously there was 4 scheduled, but we had the red card, so that added on some time. Jennings once again making sure he uses all of the seconds that he's allotted before he plays it, and once again out of bounds, but the ball's hit into the stands, and Buku plays it over to Sayer. Maybe one final attack here in this first half for Port City, up 2 players. Not very often you see a team 2 players down. Well, obviously 1 red card and 1 injury that'll get the substitution here at halftime. Unfortunate set of circumstances there for the Bentams. But here's Port City trying to attack. Mancuso over to Steele. Steele with a big cross in, a little bit elevated. Didn't get past the first defender of St. Just. And there's the final blow of the whistle in the first half as Port City were up 2 players but could not find an answer in the last couple of minutes as they were up a player for the last 10 minutes. As it's 1-1 though, 7 minutes in. The Bentams got the scoring started. Then the 29th minute, Port City found the equalizer from Mancuso. We saw a flurry of injuries. Hopefully that subsides here in this second half. But we'll be back here after the break for exciting action here in USL2. We'll take a quick look at the goals before we go to break. There's a little bit of dinky-donk that resulted in the goal. It was an own goal. And beautiful cross by Lee. Mancuso just gets the boot to it. And that's it for the first half here at historic Legion Stadium in Wilmington, North Carolina. Welcome back here to Wilmington for the second half, as it's going to be Barber who gets us started. And there are 10 Bantams out there. Officially now, they made the substitution at halftime. We'll get you that here in a second. Who they added. It's going to be the sub for Wilson. So I think Wilson will be credited for that full half of play. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they count minutes here in the USL2 either way. But that's not the point. Wilson is the player off, technically. It's going to be a new center forward of Lewis Matten. So Matten is the third sub. Still one window for the Bantams, as Powell there has to get it high and away. Another substitution for the Bantams is David Liboy. Liboy is the fourth sub for the Bantams. So that's it for the substitutions. 3 left remaining in one window of availability for the Bantams.
In the match for South Carolina United is the 23, Lewis Matten.
Here's a long ball in. It's going to be fresh legs for Port City as Lee comes off. And it's Mota. Hendricks Mota in for Port City. So 1 sub used there, 6 available for them in the 3 windows for Port City. So obviously options very limited for South Carolina United now in this second half in terms of players off the bench. So it's going to be a long half for the Bantams, but never is over. You never know what the game of football has in store. That was a weird little combination there. Nice little dribble here from Whitaker. Whitaker just pushes it on to Barber. Barber, a little try to cut it inside. Barber's still with it somehow. Fatzinger now shooting it off and has to take a touch, and it's going to be a corner for the Bantams. First corner of the game for the Bantams. Port City with 1 as well. So what does the first corner have in store here? It's going to be the captain of Beck. Beck with the in-swing corner right on Christensen, able to come and collect it now. Maybe a quick counterattack available as Mancuso trying to get on the end of it. Off his line is Jennings. Oh, it had to be headed away there. And that's an interesting call there from the referee as Lindstrom took a tumble, but it was off of Jennings' leg. So how about that? If you foul your own player, you get the whistle. So either way, we'll take another look at the replay now. It was a good idea from Christensen. And Mancuso maybe a little bit of help there. So good eyes by the referee. Our eyes fooled us there a little bit. Did that one on the original play. That is why I'm not a referee. And I'm up here in the broadcast booth. So let's make that point clear. Christensen over to Mbuku. A big day of World Cup action as well. Portugal took care of business. Ronaldo on the scoreboard for the first time this tournament. And another big game was England versus Ghana. Ghana, a low-ranked team, as it was 0-0. And England, who's struggled sometimes in the World Cup, with 0-0 draws. It's Croatia and Panama at halftime right now, 0-0 as well. That's the same group as England. So an interesting game there, as both those teams lost their first game, but with both teams ahead of them tying, you need to win the game to stay in the World Cup. Of course, the first tiebreaker head-to-head. So if you lose, you're out, which would be a big shock for Croatia. And this is the last day of the second match day, so we'll have now tomorrow starting the third match days where games are played at the same time. Mexico plays tomorrow at 9 against the last team in the group they haven't played, of course, which they've already beaten South Korea, and in the opening game, South Africa, which just leaves Czech Republic. Or they call them Czechia now. I'm not sure what the official names are. Nonetheless, as it's a short corner taken by Steele here. Finley takes a tumble in the box, saved from going out for another corner. And no one up for the Bentams there. But Mexico already won their group in the World Cup, so that game honestly doesn't really mean anything. So we might see Guillermo Ochoa get an appearance, the Mexican legend. Here's Walker, though, down the near touchline. Inside to Mota. Mota touching, shot, and an easy save to the left for Jennings. His fourth save of the night. And for the USA, who play on Thursday against the opposition from the European team, Turkey A. Sorry, bobbled that one there. But Turkey A, better known as Turkey, are bottom of the group, and US have already won the group as well. So good news there for the US fans. Another big team, Germany, also playing tomorrow. They play Ecuador. They've won the group as well. So nothing to play for there. Ecuador, though, with a lot to play for, as Curaçao has had an impressive run of form so far. 1 point for Ecuador and Curaçao. Of course, Room making the most saves in World Cup history of 15. Last time the Curaçaoians played. Not sure that's the plural word for Curaçao. Nonetheless, it's World Cup fever here. And it's a beautiful summer of soccer as it rolls on here. Finley now driving down the end, or towards the end line on the far touchline. Inside to Powell, now it's over to Steele. Steele plays it over to Stewart. Stewart ends up running towards it, collects it. Stewart now inside to Steele once more, knocking it back and forth and around. Mancuso is with it now. Mancuso's been all over the pitch tonight offensively. Good to see him back as well. He took a little bit of a knock off of a sledding challenge late in the first half, where he came up hobbling. Mota got tripped up, advantage played by the referee there. I don't know if it was advantage. I don't know if the foul would have been called. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. Finley over on the far touchline now, inside the 18, driving towards the end line. Does get the end line, gets by Beck, but not past the first defender of St. Just. Mbuku back inside to Stewart. Stewart heads it over to Sayer. All Port City here as the lights turn on and the action gets brighter. And more intense here as we're 10 minutes in to the second half now. Or just about, you might say. Stewart over to Steele. A lot of space to work. Obviously a player more for Port City FC. Now it's out wide to Powell, who's in a real high position. Not afraid to attack his Powell. Inside, that one tried to go tiki-taka from Walker to Powell. Stewart, as on their heels now are the Bentams, trying to soak up some of this pressure. Currently, Mancuso maybe looking long for Fatzinger. Fatzinger able to get it off the chest, and it's knocked off there of Barber. Came on in the 22nd minute, did Barber, for Green, who came on in the 5th minute. A couple of interesting moments there, as it was unfortunate to see a couple of injuries for the Bentams. 3 in that first half. And then, of course, the red to Kelly. If you're Port City, you must feel that you've definitely got the front foot in this game. Mancuso tried to leave it. It's going to be a free kick as Barber was contacted after the ball was gone from Fatzinger. So any sort of set piece now for the Bentams will be a opportunity to kill some clock and really use it up and also have a chance on goal. One hand up there for Wakelin. It's only about 5 yards outside the 18 and cleared away by Sayer. Mancuso surrounded by 4 red jerseys there. The Carolina blue, or coastal blue as we call it here at Port City. Mancuso with a little shove there from Mota to try and get there faster. Mancuso with a lot of speed. As Austin Martz, his head coach, supporting him, rooting him on as he chases down the Bentams, and they do win it back eventually with Sayer as the center back. Sayer's persistent with it after he lost it, and he's won it back now. Mota on this near touchline. Gets inside, plays it to Walker. It was Lundstrup there with the pressure. Now over to Steele. Lundstrup there, and a couple of Bentams defenders as well. Wakelin now stepping was Whitaker. Beck. Whitaker now inside. Knocks it over to Matten. Matten now driving, played it back to Whitaker. Whitaker was driving at the defensive line of Port City FC. Mancuso was able to get off his foot quick enough there. Nearest Bantam to the ball carrier of Port City is about 30 yards away. Mbuku over to Fatzinger. Fatzinger inside Mbuku. Mbuku maybe looking for Steele. Made the run of Finley actually. Over the head there of Lindstrup. And Steele took a tumble. Advantage, says the referee. Steele still on the ground. No. Advantage died out quickly. And the Steele free kick will be awarded. As Lindstrup clipped the back heel there of Steele. But it was about as thin as a sheet of paper was that contact. Doesn't matter though. Steele with the right foot, made have an attempt on goal. He goes back post. A lot of bodies there. Ends up getting flicked out for a corner kick. It was a little bit extras from Mbuku there. On it looked like maybe Lindstrup. No, excuse me, that was the bigger body of the substitute, Matten. So Matten and Mbuku are going after each other. We saw Wilson and Mbuku go after each other in the first half. Center forward on center back. Since over the head of Mbuku, away over to the near side of corner to Stewart. Played it inside to Jennings. Jennings looking to take some seconds off the clock. Jennings booming this one long. Mbuku and Matten making connection once again. You can't separate those two like a fly on ice cream right now. As for Steele inside, knocking it around. Mancuso over there as well. Mota chasing. St. Just on a yellow card, plays it back to Jennings. St. Just and Caromedy on yellows for the Bentams. Walker over to Sayer. Sayer switches the field, switches the view. That's inside to Finley. Couldn't really gain possession there. Mbuku plays it long. Definitely something that we've seen a lot from Mbuku this year. The long through ball. And not much of a breeze here tonight as well, really causing the humidity to fatigue these players. It's almost taking the water out of a sponge. A wet sponge at that. The weather here in Wilmington. And Mbuku inside. Steele was there, couldn't get the right contact, and it's easily with St. Just. Now Beck all the way back to Jennings. As we've passed the hour mark in Wilmington. That one's played out of bounds. Where the fans will get to throw the ball back into Fatzinger, the USL sponsor ball by Select, proud sponsor of the USL and USL League 2. A ball used in USL 1 and 2 and the USLW as well, if I'm not mistaken. Barber ends up getting it long. Was looking for Matten. Matten wasn't able to chase it down in time. And Mbuku throwing the ball in over to Stewart. Mota offsides right now, but the lines come back to him. Like the waves of the ocean flowing in and out. There for the central forward player of Port City. Powell throws it in, the UNCW man. A little bit farther from home than he usually is. Plays at UNCW, of course, where we normally play for Port City FC at UNCW Soccer Stadium. Probably about a 15-minute drive, I'd say. And we see over there, right by the locker rooms, you can't see it right now, it's the left of your picture, Oscar Kelly there, sitting in the neon pink shirt. After the red card for him, he'll have to sit out the next match for the Bentams as well. This is inside of Mancuso, back to Powell, strike! Oh, just didn't make clean contact with it for Powell. But a great combination, as we'll call that the clean combination of the game. Brought to you by Wrightsville Beach Brewery. Here for Port City FC. And what a combination it was. So we'll take another look at it. While Jennings gets set up now. Powell started that whole attack there. And Kuso, nifty work as well to just chop it back right into the path of Powell. Just never really had a chance off the foot. So Jennings gets it back in play, but not for long, as that had about as much life in it as the sand on the desert. It almost immediately went out of bounds, but now for Port City, they get back in possession. Out of bounds now for Fatzinger. Thought he was able to keep it in briefly before it got knocked out. He was walking a tightrope there, was Fatzinger. Thrown by Lindstrup. Inside now, Wakelin back to Lindstrup. Pressured by Mota. Lindstrup trying to get by 3 Coastal Blues jerseys. He does get a throw in, and Lindstrup will take his time now, as the Bentams not opposed to a 1-1 result here and take a point back to South Carolina after being down to 10 men with the red card late in the first half. And don't forget the 10 men with 10 minutes to go in the first half as well with the injury. So they've been playing 10 men down for now 30 minutes almost. And a draw in this game would not be the worst result for South Carolina United. That was a headed effort over the goal there by the Bentams. And as a reminder, 3 subs remaining for the Bentams and 6 for Port City. 1 window for the Bentams, 3 for Port City after a couple of injuries in the first half for the Bentams. And one of those where you're a little bit limited if you're the Bentams to make those last 3 subs. Long range effort, Christensen out of the goal. Oh, it's speculative. And Christensen got back, did the big frame. Wakelin decided to have a go as he saw Christensen was well off the line. He was outside the 18 by a good 5-10 yards, but Christensen, in the end, was able to calmly collect that without any trouble. Finley couldn't gather possession. Jennings will try to buy any seconds he can off the clock. Long ball played now by Jennings once again, headed away by Fatzinger. It's Steele inside, being pressured by Wakelin. Wakelin does get a little bit of assist from Whitaker, and they win it back. Now maybe a foul. Matten wanted a foul. I think the whistle did blow. And Buku's been real aggressive today. Almost aggressive as a porcupine when it senses danger. A real aggressive night for Mbuku. Has not been in the book yet. He gets a little bit of a talking to there. But as for Mbuku, has to be careful a little bit. As the referee's starting to catch on to the shenanigans. Free kick here taken by Wakelin. Steele tries to block it. It's back post. Mbuku there tucked for. Christensen comes and collects. A little bit of contact, and Sayer not happy there, and he's talking to the referee as well as Camara, not happy, and player on the turf right now for the Bentams. It looks like it's going to be St. Just. Took a little shoulder there. Both players just kind of colliding with each other. St. Just. And once again, we see the athletic training partner for the Bentams. He's been on the pitch, I think now for the 4th time. Christensen pawning some water off, it looked like, or he was about to. And it may be the end of the night for St. Just, as the trainer signals for the sub once more. So like we've talked about, 3 substitutions available for the Bentams and only 1 window left. So unless there's obviously the 2 concussion subs windows available, but none of those today have been like that. St. Just will walk off. And obviously being down to 10 men already, you don't want to play with 9 for that long. Obviously, the last couple of minutes of the first half is a little bit different of a story. And if you're the Bentams, you probably need to make the 3 subs now. We'll see what happens, what they choose. Right now, they've only got 9 on the pitch. They're playing a 4-3-1 formation. Matten is your central forward. You see it right there clearly. Matten will drop back after a couple of discussions from the coaching staff, it looks like, for the Bentams. Now it's a 4-4 flat. Only 2 lines of defense there for the Bentams. It looks like they'll make a sub. So there is a substitution, the 5th of the night. For the Bentams, and they may make it into a concussion sub. I'm not sure, but that was the last window, if they count it. We'll see about that. I'm not sure. We don't have any words with the referees. I wish we had some audio there. Still players warming up, so obviously some subs available for the Bentams. The Port City may get an extra substitution. Not sure. We'll see. We'll try to keep you updated on that. Yvonne Marlarte is the player on, wearing number 24, the Bentams. He's got that number 6 role, center midfielder role. Kind of where St. Just is playing. Wakeland was all aggressive there with Walker. It's going to be a free kick for Port City. Wakeland not happy with that, but it was aggressive play, and I think you saw the replay there, it hit the hand of Wakeland as well. Mota, big swinging cross-field ball to Powell, who gets collected on the 6-yard box. Dangerous there for Port City. Fatzinger trying to step in. Lindstrup still with possession. A nice little combination with Wakeland there. Lindstrup driving now. Matten to his left. Inside cut from Lindstrup. Offsides is the far-sided player from the Bentams. Now it's played all the way back to Barber. Barber with Lindstrup making the run all the way from the defensive position. 18-18. Big contact from Mbuku. Rolling all around. Referee, the signal for nothing there. As dangerous defensively for Port City, and give the flowers to Lindstrup there. End to end on that run. A little bit of contact for Mbuku. But Mbuku with the much bigger frame, I think played a part in that one. And it's just, you see the humidity impacting as Jennings was just there on the ground stretching his calves out. Now this is extreme humidity for these teams, but the turf also may be playing a factor as well. So we'll see if some cramping comes into effect, as we're 17 and a half minutes from the end of regulation. It's a sub as Mancuso, who's battling through that left ankle kind of knock that he took late in the first half, comes off, and it's going to be a new player for Port City of Caden Smith. For Caden Smith, it's their second sub, and they still have 2 windows available to Port City. We'll see what the Bentams do. They might be out of sub windows. I'm not sure about that. If they do make a sub, then maybe they got one of those to be a concussion. We'll see. 3 players are still warming up. That one under the leg there of the Bentams defense of Camara. Oh, now it's with Camara after it went back to Jennings. Matten. And Mbuku there somehow got it to Stewart with the heel. Smith was offsides. Made the finish anyway. Beautiful finish there from Smith. The goal that didn't count, though, from Smith. Beautiful finish. Just absolutely lovely. So St. Just is still out playing center back for the Bentams. As it was the Bentams substitution. The player that got hurt there looked like he was wearing 18. We'll come back to that one here in a moment. As Malarte shouting that he got pulled down. There's St. Just making some nifty footwork. Keeps it in, does St. Just. Maybe a throw over Port City, last off of the Bentams. This is where the contact was from Barber. The boy chasing down Mota. Malarte inside to steal. Barber was the player that was screaming for the foul there last time. Now he gets a couple more touches on it. And it looks like it was actually Isaac Whitaker Francis, the one that was hurt. I got substituted. See him over there with the penny and the boots off. This one over to LeBoy. So excuse me for that one. I thought it was an 18 there on the kit. The junior St. Just, once again, still out there playing left center back. And still in the book as well. Same thing with a couple other players for the Bantams that have been subbed off already. And a big shove on Lindstrup from Mota. Mota was stumbling there and just finished the job on Lindstrup. But only 14 minutes left in the second half, a fast-flowing second half as well. As we stay 1-1, knotted up. As tight as a square knot here is this game. A little reference there to if you were a Boy Scout, you would know that one. There is Malarte, though. Plays it out wide. Cross comes in and headed away by Powell. More of a clearance just in general. It was more of a flying karate clearance by Powell. And if you've been watching the World Cup, you've been seeing the post-game broadcasters or panel with Zlatan on it. And that was Zlatan-esque from Caleb Powell there. And I don't know if anybody's seen the Zlatan power rankings for teams. I think it's the Zlatan King of the Jungle rankings. And the first team on there is, of course, just Zlatan. Zlatan is the first team, no matter what. And then the first team, it's actually players, excuse me, not teams. So obviously you've got Mbappe. Messi is number 2 right now because he's behind Zlatan. But Messi is really number 1 if you exclude that. But some good performances from him. 5 goals, all 5 goals for Argentina so far. And a couple subs coming in for Port City FC. It's going to be number 18, Asa Hamid. That's how one went out of play. So Hamid in for, it looks like, Finley. And then Steele off as well. The captain for Port City. It's going to be a new center midfielder. Try to create some spark for the Gulls. It's over to Walker. Now knocked inside to Mota. Mota lost it, but right behind him was Hamid. Go ahead and get it out to Walker, though, as it trickles out of bounds. Get you a name on that center midfielder momentarily. A lot of subs so far as Port City now 3 remaining in 1 window available. Never really going to use the 7 subs, to be honest. There's the fresh legs. Troy Myers. Mota stays with it. Mota plays it back to Walker with a little bit of space to work with for Walker. Now cuts it back inside to Myers. Myers knocks it out to Powell. Change of scenery for the ball there. 4 Bentams were there, back post. Barber gets it cleared, but only to Stewart. Still in the danger zone for the Bentams. Now inside, once again, Myers. A lot of touches already. Trying to dink it inside. Jennings palming it down. Will take to the far corner there. Take as much time off the clock as he can. As we close in on the 80th minute here. 10 minutes left in regulation. There'll be some added time. We saw 4 in the first half. Wouldn't be surprised to see another 4 maybe added on. Sayer trying to shield it. Takes a touch, though. It's going to be a corner kick for the Bentams. Great work there from Matten. Just enough of pressure on the back of Sayer. So for the Bantams to have some players in the box is critical. Substitutions over, or the substitutes over there on the far, like near the corner, are not really warming up too aggressively. I think the Benthams are out of subs. Windows. Cross comes in swinger right on Christensen. He does collect it calmly. No one up really extending the field, really spreading the game out, lengthening it. Fatzinger with a big touch, big collision there, and it's with Lindstrup. Lindstrup out wide there to Malarte. One back by Mbuku. Malarte knocks it out for a throw in for Mbuku now. Mbuku quickly to Stewart. Good crowd out here tonight as well for a Tuesday night game here in Wilmington, North Carolina. A little bit of a tough night, like we said. Weather-wise, Hamid plays it out wide to Fatzinger. Fatzinger, a lot of space to run into. He chooses to knock it over to Walker. Walker in on goal. Well, you could say in on 18-yard box. Decided to play it across. Didn't get anything going there. And now it's Port City again after the clearance from the Bentham. There's Smith. Smith inside to Powell. Powell with a little bit of space. Pressure now from Wakeland. Still with Port City. Body hit the turf. And it's a free kick off the foul on Camara. A little bit of handsy there from Mota. Jennings doing what he's done all game and taking the extra space on the ball. Croatia has scored. So right now that would mean Panama would be eliminated for the last match day in the World Cup. Powell with the big cross field ball, and it's a great one as well. Gets Lindstrup out for the moment. Mota is taking a whole hike across the field. It's headed back. Fatzinger now will be there. Fatzinger looking for the through ball there to Hamid. Hamid crossing it in. No one there, though, as the cross didn't have as much mustard as it needed to on it. It was more of a relish dog than a mustard dog there. Not enough power behind that one. Still, though, Port City with the pressure on here, with now 7 minutes left in regulation. Myers there with a mix of bodies, and Myers threw down there. It looks like the Bentham's player. A little extension of the arm. As St. Just took one there for the team. And that one from Jennings out of bounds once again. We've seen a couple of those already today. 5 of those today as well from Jennings, and it's really given possession back to Port City. I know you're trying to kind of elongate the game, but you give Port City the possession back. So Mbuku with loads of space to run into. It's just a lot of bodies. It's 2 banks of 4, you might say, and 1 attacking player for the Benthams. Fatzinger can't get the cross to go past the 2 brick wall of 4 for the Benthams. That one's just into the air. Gives the Benthams a chance to clear. Ball exchanging possession. And Mbuku with a big challenge and goes down. Free kick is awarded to South Carolina United. And Mbuku down in some pain as well. As you see, just collision of knees there. That one hurts. So the training staff out to check on Mbuku now. The Bentham's player up, but never a good sign, as we've already seen a 3 injuries today. And Buku loves to just stick the leg in there this time. That's never something you want to see. That just hurts, and it's also an inward motion of the knee. Hopefully Mbuku is all right, nothing too serious. Maybe be able to continue tonight, but I'm not sure. But we've talked about the weather in Wilmington not being ideal with the humidity, but the sky here as a beautiful sunset here in Wilmington at historic Legion Stadium. Got a little bit of a view, obviously better in person. Over to our left as well, the Shark Tank, where the Wilmington Sharks play in the Coastal Plain League, another kind of minor league collegiate summer league team. The yellow card for Mbuku there. So as he hobbles off, he gets in the book as well. So Mbuku jumps off. It's going to be a substitution, it looks like, for Port City. I'm sure here shortly. Not right now, though. So right now we are having 10v10. On the pitch. So for the first time in, let's see, 52 minutes, we'll have equal numbers on the pitch for both these teams. How will that play into the hands of the Bentams before Port City can get the sub out? They've got some space out wide. Hamid really chasing him down quickly, but cuts inside for the Bentams. Shot! It's deflected, and he might be offsides. Yes, he is. They're saying that the Port City player kept him on, but it's offsides. I mean, he was pretty much on the goal line. So, I'm not surprised to see the flag go up quickly. But, I mean, it was loads of space out wide for the Bentams. And, yeah, I think he was offsides. We'll have to take another look at it, maybe. It's just tight. It's a tight call. It's one of those where, you know, it looks like he's probably maybe a step ahead. I mean, it's to your discretion. But Malarte there with the touch that would have been the game winner, most likely. Now here on goal, he's offsides as well. We've seen a lot of offsides. It's a new entry into the game. Raquan Bryant. So Bryant enters for Mbuku. So it puts Stewart back to the center back position for Port City. Now it's a double center forward look, you could say, for Port City. Offensively, there's Bryant. We saw Bryant against Hickory. Not many touches in that game. He was on for both goals that they conceded, though, for Port City. It was the substitute. Can he make a difference here, though? Calling for the ball in the center of the park. Fatzinger is holding it up, knocks it over to Walker to his left. Walker playing the through ball to Hamid now. Hamid, a couple players, 3 in the middle for Port City. Cross blocked, and it's going to be a corner kick for Port City. First time on this near side here in the second half. A big chance here as we are only a mere seconds away from the end of regulation. See if we get a good look at the referee and how much added time there will be. Tight on the goalkeeper here. Powell plays it in right on the keeper. Punched away by Jennings. Not super confidently, though. And now the Bentams will do the rest themselves. And now on the break themselves, potentially, is Matten. Matten driving, looking for the dink. It's missed by Stewart. There it is for Barber. Barber gets Christensen off the bar. Are you kidding me? It's still live for Aaron the Bantam score. Goal! Are you kidding me? As the Bantams have stolen 3 points, must be surely. As Port City crumbled defensively like a Ritz cracker in the packaging. Incredible. And it was off the bar originally from Barber and finished beautifully through a couple of Port City defenders. And Barber loads of space. Christensen did all he could to be big. He may have got a right hand to it, a big save. And then the moment off the rebound, we'll take a look there. It's just unable to be collected by Mota and finished, and the celebration thereafter. The goal scorer looked like it was Matten. Like we mentioned, and Port City have to throw bodies forward now, as it's a big goal for South Carolina United, as they've been down to 10 men here this whole second half. After the red card, down on the floor is Malarte. Kind of hit his face weird there. I'm not sure it's going to be, it may be a free kick for the Bantams here. Maybe hit the turf with the face. I'm thinking that's what it looked like there from the replay. They're saying the trainer needs to stay off. That's what it's saying. Referee's calling him on. It's just indecision. Referee's the final decision. He's the main one. And the athletic trainer's been called on, so he's got to come off now. From Malarte. He's already on the pitch. The referee's got to get control of this. As time, and the athletic trainer is now backpedaling off. This is just in shambles from the referee. Oh, he's taking it. Oh, this is absolutely. Referee needs to take control of this one. As the added time, and here comes the Port City athletic trainer after the Bantams athletic trainer doesn't want to take care of his own player. Interesting here, chain of events here. Referee is just lost a little bit of control here in the latter portion of this game. So it's going to be 9 players for the Bantams for the moment, as Malarte has to go off. Malarte would have to stay out in a minute if it was the World Cup, because you have to sit for a minute if you come off for an injury at the World Cup. Obviously not the same rules here, so he'll be able to enter quicker, and once the referee waves him on. And if you just saw that, there's the athletic trainer for the Bantams. He's been very active tonight, but I think he's just been ejected from the game. I'm not sure he got a red card, but he got ejected. I've only seen it one other time where an athletic trainer has been ejected. It wasn't here. It was at university in a collegiate game where a trainer got ejected. But wow, what a scene here in Wilmington. And thankfully, there's another athletic trainer just in case something happens. And the ball was dropped. The Bantam's not happy with it. Maybe should have been a foul, but I think the referee just stopped the play there. It's a massive humanity there in the center, right at the top of the 18. Smith plays it back post. Beck is able to get ahead there. Powell trying to chase their collision of bodies. Nothing there, says the referee. Deflected wide. Oh, it was just wide for Port City. And it's a corner. And the Bantams are screaming foul as Powell collided there with Liboy. We'll see it here. Well, here's that original chance. Beck gets the head. There's Powell. It's just almost 50-50. Maybe Powell with a little bit of late swing on the leg as Liboy went down. I mean, we're not sure how much added time there is. There can't be much more. There's the second chance by Hamid. The shot deflected by Wakelin. Just barely wide. I don't think that Jennings got a touch. But this is a better side for Powell to take it on. The referee originally pointed at the far side of the corner. It's going to be on the near side. as it went out on that side, of course, which is better for Powell, the righty, to hit an in-swinger here. Will there be a miraculous comeback here late on for Port City? It's in the box. It's in the mixer. Christensen is up there as well. He gets back into the box. Powell's going to have to deliver another cross in. It's right on Jennings, though. Not the delivery Powell would have liked. The man wearing the captain's band for the Coastal Blue jerseys. Christensen trying to get back. He's back now as Powell dinks it, and Mota with a little bit of space. Oh, inside to Powell, now out wide to Fatzinger. Oh, it's an early cross, maybe catching Jennings out. Oh, he's at the top of the bar. As Jennings there has to change his trousers out potentially. As maybe with the skin of his teeth. Oh, as he was just watching that one. I'm not sure how much time even is left in this game. But it's been edge of your seat stuff ever since that quick counterattack by the Bantams. Sayer took one there to the head and it went out of bounds for a throw-in for the Bantams. And we'll see a sub, or I mean the referee, yeah, it's a switch of the throw-in. Oh, it's gonna be yellow for, I'm not sure which one. I think it's gonna be the throw-in taker of Barber, who created the goal-scoring chance. Maybe the assist of the game-winning goal as of right now. It's just bouncing around, and this is all the Bantams need right now. Clearance blocked by Matten on Powell. And added time just keeps on ticking away. It's a big collision. It's a fair one as well. It's just a swinging leg of Powell. Powell's who's been beat up here in the last couple of minutes of stoppage time. Will try to carry on, wearing the captain's band on his left arm. There's Beck. He only gets it to Bryant, though, who won the second ball. Now it's just a mad scramble. The Bantams get it away. It's going to be a throw-in for Port City, of course, no question there. I'm not sure what the screaming was all about. Bryant gets it quickly. Help from the ball kid over there on the far side. Powell maybe with a long throw. Not sure he's got one of the longest throws. Haven't really seen that all year. Gets it just inside the 18, flicked on by Sayer. Cleared away from the Bantams right now. And there it is, the final blows of the whistle from the referee. As the Bantams, with a gutsy performance, down to 10 men for 55 minutes. And they not only salvaged a point, they get all three here in Wilmington at historic Legion Stadium. What a result for the all-red boys. The Coastal Blue team of Port City find themselves in the gutters as they had a point at least, if not looking at 3 at halftime with a player up. But they let it go, and they lose this one 2-1, courtesy of the right foot of Matten. We'll look back at the goals from this game. It was early on when the sun was still shining. It was the own goal by Sayer. It was the shot by Wilson, though. Then Port City answered in the 29th minute. Beautiful cross in from Lee. And a great finish by Mancuso. Then off the bar, great touch by Christensen. Mota just touches into the path of Matten and into the back of the net for the game winner. So that's all we have for you here today at historic Legion Stadium. We'll see you again tomorrow at UNCW Soccer Stadium for Port City FC USL2 Action. My name is Zachary Buttright. As we sign off from around the world, gracias, adios, danke, auf Wiedersehen. Grazie, ciao.